Hello everyone and welcome back to the second day of the Goldmoney Asian Rapid knockouts. It's Anish Giri versus Vladislav Artemiev, also known as Chuck Norris. Why is he known as Chuck Norris? Well, for good reason, as you'll see in this game. So Anish is in a pretty difficult situation. He lost yesterday. He didn't just lose, he lost by a margin of 3-0. But luckily, he doesn't need to win by a margin of 3-0 to bounce back. He just needs to win today's match to get back into the match and force tie breaks. But in this game, it's really something else. You're going to enjoy it. Let's check it out. Anish with the white pieces opens with e4. We have c6. Artemiev goes for the Caro-Kann defense. We have d4, d5, and now e5. Anish going for the advanced variation, and now bishop to f5. You want to develop your light square bishop, play e6, and then h6 or h5 to create an escape square for this bishop. And here Anish strikes with h4. This is known as the Tal variation of the advanced Caro-Kann. We have h5 now, not allowing any g4, h5 action, so h5 and c4. We have e6 now, closing the structure as the bishop has been developed here, and knight to c3. We have d captures on c4, and now bishop captures. So helping white to develop this light square bishop a little bit, but again, for good reason, as you'll see later on. So here, knight to d7, Artemiev continues development, and knight g to e2. We have bishop to e7 and now g3 first, kind of defending that pawn because you can't castle. The h4 pawn would be hanging. And now bishop to g4, a slight improvement in the position, pinning this knight here for the moment. And here there is one game where queen to d3 was played, just unpinning so the knight can move, but here in the game we have bishop to f4, and it is now as of move 10 that we have a completely new game. So let's see how Artemiev continues this. Here Artemiev plays knight to h6, and it's not a kind of move that when you see it you feel that there is some imminent danger present that you have to be aware of, but there is. Here in this position, danger lurks everywhere. But Anish isn't careful and he falls right into it. Here, Anish says, all right, I'm going to unpin now. I'm going to play queen to d3, just continue my development. But this move allows Artemiev to do something incredible. So feel free to pause the video here and try to find out if you are as good as Chuck Norris here to find such an incredible move while I give you a couple of seconds. So for those of you who were able to do it, congratulations on realizing that the queen on d3 is undefended. Well, not really, because the bishop is defending the queen, but we said that b5 can be played at just the right moment to, grab some advantage for black. And this is one such position, so congratulations to everyone who found this. It's very, very difficult to spot this. b5 is what Artemiev played, and now there's a problem. Your bishop is under attack and you really don't have a move other than bishop to b3. So this is what Anish played, and now this knight that would have a hard time getting into the game now comes into the game via knight to c5, and now it cannot be captured because the queen on d3 really is hanging. So here after knight to c5 you have to move the queen, and then this knight will be exchanged for this powerful bishop. Queen to d1 was played, queen to c2 was somewhat better, but it's very hard to do no such things when you're playing the game. Knight captures on b3, grabbing the bishop, a captures, and now b4, dislodging this knight. And here white is in a lot of trouble because if you move the knight, let's say knight to a4, then we get knight to f5 in, and now you're just gonna play bishop captures here, queen captures, and then eliminated this d4 pawn, and then white's entire position will just crumble. And there's really no good way to defend this. If you try something like bishop to e3 to try and keep an eye on the pawn, then we get this queen to d5 move in, attacking the rook, and after white castles, then comes this move. We attack the bishop here, now threatening to capture, and after, let's say, the queen defends, now we can even bust through with bishop captures on h4, and that's it. There's no playing this for white. If you accept, then it's just bishop captures, queen captures, knight captures. Here you can't capture because the queen hangs, and then knight f3 check is coming, rook is coming into the attack. It's just going to be very quickly over. So instead, after b4, Anish says, all right, we can't really allow this knight to go to f5 and, wreak havoc. So we have to capture it. Bishop captures on h6 was played, but now b captures on c3. Again, Anish's bishop is attacked here. So what do you play here? Bishop bishop to c1 is the safe move, but he decides to go for bishop captures on g7, and now c captures on b2. Anish has to win today's match in order to bounce back, so he can't even go for the safer move. So here c captures on b2, and now if you trade rooks, which kind of seems like something you can do, you can't. If you capture on h8, then we just play bishop to b4 check. We want to get rid of the king, so the king does not defend the knight here. And now after king f1, we play queen to d5 first. Now attacking the rook here, and again, not much you can do. If you move the rook, then queen e4 nicely with a double attack on the knight here. And of course, if you move the king, then we just capture the knight. The queen can't capture because then we bring another queen into the game. And if you move the queen, then we finally grab the rook. And after queen captures, well, you're down a piece. And it's not like you're down a piece. It's like you're down everything. This is not, coming into the game anytime soon. This bishop also has no way of entering the game. The queen not really doing, it's such a silly position to even look at. The pieces are occupying the corners of the board and not doing anything. So you can't go for that. So instead of bishop captures on h8, rook to b1 was played, but it doesn't help. Rook g8 attacking the bishop to f6, and only now queen to d5. This queen to d5 was always in the position, but you have to wait the right moment to play it, and now was the right time. So if you castle now, again, queen to f3, just a double attack on the knight, and if we defend the knight, then comes bishop to h3. We threaten checkmate, and the only way to prevent checkmate is knight f4, but we simply don't care. We capture it because the g-pawn is pinned. So no possible way of defending this. So you can't castle. Anish plays rook to h2. He tries to defend like this, but now comes a super sneaky move, bishop to a3. He just defends his passed pawn, and he says, what do you play here? He says, Anish, look at your position. What is this? I mean, this rook here, this rook on h2, the king on e1. I mean, it's such a bad position for white. This is just incredible, and it's only move 19. So here, bishop to g5 was played, trying to get the bishop back into the game, but bishop to f5 now, attacking that rook on b1. And here, Anish played knight to c3, as the rook really doesn't have anywhere to go, attacking the queen. But now Artemiev just played bishop to b4, attacked the knight is now pinned, it cannot move, and it was in this position on move 21 that Anish Giri resigned the game, and the game 1 of their second match goes to the incredible Vladislav Artemiev, who did not only beat Giri in 21 moves with the black pieces, but this is also his 4th win in a row against Anish, so 4-0, that's incredible. Artemiev really crushing this tournament, and he will definitely be a force to reckon with. Anish can still bounce back, but 4-0, I mean, that's hard to play against. So yeah, here you resign. There's no way to defend the knight. You're going to lose it. If you move the queen to defend it, we don't really care. We can pretty much play anything. We can just grab the rook on b1, for example. So, I mean, there's that. And if we try something like bishop to d2 to try and guard it this way, we're just going to capture on d4. And now there's a double attack here. We're going to capture it, and that's pretty much it. If you move the knight, let's say knight to e2, again, we don't care. We can just capture here with check, and after everything gets traded off, we can just pick up the rook here on b1, then move the bishop, promote the pawn. We have too much material. So yeah, after bishop to b4, after Artemiev played this, Anish resigned the game, and what an amazing victory with the black pieces. I mean, people, I think the Caro-Kann will be played by everyone after they see this game. So be careful for that. If you play online, be ready for the Caro-Kann. So yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Really an awesome one. I would like to thank David Kimura, Nigel Holloway, Leandro Moderson, happy birthday CCP, and Constantino Bucci for your contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon. Continuing with the coverage of these incredible games, checking up on your wonderful suggestions, and whatever else happens in the chess world. So thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.